Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are diving deep into the pages of the history to explore a conflict that often overlooked but had a profound impact on the world. That's right, we are talking about the Korean War. Strap in because this is going to be a fascinating journey. To understand the Korean War, we first need to set the stage. Let's rewind a bit. Before the war, Korea was a united nation, but the end of the World War II saw it divided among the 30th parallel into North and South, with the North under the Soviet influence and South under American influence. But what led to the outbreak of the Korean War? In 1950s, North Korea, under Kim Il-sung's leadership, made a bold move by invading South Korea. This act of aggression sends a shockwave throughout the world. South Korea, the United States, and the United Nations immediately rallied to push back the North Korean forces. The Korean War was marked by an intense battle and campaigns that shaped the tides of the conflict. One of the most crucial parts was the Battle of Persian Perimeter, a crucial early stage in the Korean War. In 1950, North Korean forces advanced rapidly, threatening to take over the entire Korean peninsula. The United Nations force, primarily US and South Korean troops, defend the Persian perimeter with tenacity, stealing the North Korean advance and buying time for a counter-offensive. One of the most pivotal movements came with the Battle of Ikagan in September 1950. General Douglas MacArthur executed a daring amphibious landing at Ikagan, behind the enemy lines, which cast the North Korean off guard. This brilliant maneuver marked a turning point in the war, leading to the liberation of Seoul and the reestablishment of the 30th parallel. But it wasn't all straightforward. In the winter of 1950s, the Korean Reservoir Campaign was a brutal counteroffensive. UN forces, primarily American Marines, faced harsh conditions, including sub-zero temperatures. Despite a strategic withdrawal, they inflict heavy casualties on the Chinese and North Korean forces, demonstrating their resilience. And finally, the war settled into a bitter stalemate near 30th parallel, where both sides dug in for a long and brutal conflict. The Korean War wasn't just a conflict between North Korea and South Korea. It quickly becomes an international affair. The United Nations played a significant role in supporting South Korea and condemning the aggression. But it didn't stop there. China, fearing UN presence on its border, sent in a massive army, leading to a new and more complex phase of the war. This international involvement added a layers of complexity into an already intense conflict. Shortly after Korean Reservoir Campaign, China entered the war in late 1950, launching a massive offensive against UN forces. Major battles erupted, such as the Battle of Chong'ong River, which witnesses significant clashes between UN and Chinese forces, escalating the war and alerting the dynamics. Moving forward to 1951, the Battle of the Heartbreak Ridge took place in the mountains of North Korea. This prolonged battle saw intense fighting as the both sides sought control of strategic positions, It had a significant impact on the overall war, but come at high cost in terms of casualties. While the battles raged on, civilians in the both North and South Korea endured unimaginable hardship. Families were torn apart and the entire community were devastated by the war. Meanwhile, American soldiers and their families back home faced their own challenges. Loved ones were far away, and the conflict had a profound impact on the American society. The Korean War didn't end with a devious victory. Negotiations at Panmunjom led to a ceasefire agreement in 1953, and the demilitarization zone was established. Though this marked the end of the major combat operations, the Korean Peninsula remains divided to this day. The legacy of the Korean War is a complex one. It left deep scars on the Korean Peninsula and had a lasting impact on American foreign policy. Its influence reverberates through the history and is an essential chapter in understanding the dynamics of the Cold War. As we wrap up our journey through the forgotten conflict of the Korean War, I want to remind you that this chapter of the history should not be overlooked. The lesson it offers, the sacrifices made, and the impact it had all are part of our shared human story. If you found this video informative and engaging, please consider liking and sharing it. And don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating historical content.